and our programming gets stored in the body, and I was shown the frequencies to undo and unravel the stuck energy. So I felt it all through my body, every frequency, and I still do. And that's what the inner work is, this undoing and unraveling. In 2013, I was working full-time doing energy healing sessions. And then in 2016, my soul contract kicked in. I had no awareness of this until 2016. And my guide said that energy was going to hit the planet, and they were calling it, you can't lie and get away with it. So patterns of darkness were going to be revealed, and it was all coming up for clearing. So at the time, that was when the Bill Cosby scandal kicked it off, and the Me Too movement, abuse in the Boy Scouts, and right till today with Jeffrey Epstein and the child trafficking. So this energy of sexual abuse has been around, it's been ages on the planet, and these dark energies are clearing. The planet is not going to support that energy. So the dark energy that's been hidden is coming up to be revealed. So I was asked to bring the frequencies of heaven. I was to bring new frequencies of peace, love, and joy to the planet. And I went through, it's been 3 years of integrating and upgrading these higher frequencies. So I live on the East Coast, and a lot of the work was in Philadelphia, New York, Washington, D.C., down to Florida and up to Boston. So I've just been working East Coast with these frequencies. And one of the things where I was integrating is the divine said, we need you movable. And I would listen. If I was told to go somewhere, I would go there, bring the energy. Sometimes I could just do it from home and send the energy. But that's what I was asked to do, and that's what I'm sharing today. I'm bringing through these frequencies.
So beautiful. And we're going to experience those frequencies. I want to ask you a little bit more about that process and that journey for you. So first, let's start. When you first began to feel that electricity in your body in 2006, it's very interesting because that was leading up to 2012, and that really is that window, right? Ever since the harmonic convergence in the 80s, but we did see a lot, I've seen that trend where a lot happened in that window before 2012. So that was your experience in 2006, and you went to the doctor to figure out what was going on. At what point did you fully understand to surrender to that divine connection or that divine will? What was that process like for you?
So for me, it took me a while, like 2 to 3 years before I really started to trust and just surrender. So part of that process was excruciating heart pain, and I was working with a cardiologist, and it would record the jolts and the skips in my heart.
Wow.
But I started to have an inkling that it was spirit, and I was receiving guidance in the morning, not so much about my health, but about other, like I was working with the angels then. So it took me a little while before I trusted, and as soon as I surrendered and trusted, everything just moved along. And when a thought came up or I would feel the pain of an experience, that I used to call them counter frequencies. I didn't know what to call these, but it would come in and I could feel it land in my body and unravel that energy.
Wow.
And so it was probably a few years. And so I was working in 2012, bringing these frequencies into corporations. And I remember doing a big 12-12 meditations and that, and I thought that was my path. So when this soul contract kicked in 2016, I was totally shocked by that. I thought I was on my path and was meant to do the healing that I was doing previously.
Well, that is so fascinating. Again, it's the power of surrender. That's not always such an easy thing, but we love hearing the story and doing it. So, for those who don't know really what it means to surrender, if you could clarify a little bit about that. And this goes into you sharing on, what it's like to hear what it's like to hear, to be told you need to be movable, and you need to be movable on the East Coast. And so if you could share your soul contract, what was different about that? And what made you recognize that and the true call of the heart, and then listening for that guidance?
So just going back, well, when I started to hear the messages, it just came in as an invitation, and it wasn't clear yet, but I just started to sense something, that I had another purpose, or that my soul was waking up in my body. There was something I was supposed to be doing. And I sat with it for probably a month or two before I took action. I just wanted to make sure it was clear, because for me, it's not like a voice whispering in my head where it's real clear saying to do this. It comes in over time, and it's gentle, and for me it was slow, at least in the beginning it was. But part of the work for me was getting my ego out of the way. That was the hardest part of the journey for me. And I didn't realize I had such a big ego, but it really took taming the ego before I was able to listen to guidance. And to, number one, you want to hear the guidance, and then number two, it's coming in to follow, and then to speak the guidance. But that was hard for me, and every day I would say, move my ego aside so I can better hear your will. Or show me how to put the ego in the back seat. I'm ready to show up, but my ego has this hold on me. Please move it aside. So I was always asking to get my fear-based ego out of the way.
And it's interesting, that ego, it's like getting ourself out of the way, the ego self out of the way. Sometimes we would think the ego would be a boasting thing, but in some sense it's almost a sabotage. And so getting your ego out of the way, wonderful. That's a good tool. You just asked. You asked for it to get out of the way. Was that more of like a control over the matter, or was it making you play small or doubting?
Oh, all of the above. It was all of that. I had no idea that my egoic mind was running my life. I thought my heart was open at the time, and I was doing healing work, so it was shocking to me that my heart was closed, and that my ego had that grip. So how was it? It was really when my soul came into my body, and I was able to listen to the voice of my soul, because my ego and my soul were at war. I mean, the ego wasn't having any of that soul stuff. It just did not want to follow and fought every step of the way. But when they were friends and I could get the ego on board and to trust spirit, then it was easy to follow the voice of my soul. But it was that journey. It was a couple years to be able to follow the voice of my soul and guidance.
And you built trust over time, right? It was like a number of experiences that actually removed any doubt of the ego. Would you say that that was really what happened?
Trust and yes, and then you're learning. We're always learning, and sometimes I followed the ego. I didn't realize it, but as I said, we're learning. It was good because I saw, this is what I get when I follow ego. That was my ego in disguise, or I would say it would sneak in the back door and I wouldn't catch it right away. So it was a journey, and it still is. My ego still comes up, even though I've done all this work for years, but it doesn't have control. And now it's more like a cute little kid, and I'll hear my ego say something or chime in, and I just listen. And then the ego will just calm down and then just goes in like a little child back to the back seat, and my soul can drive the bus.
Yes, beautiful. This is soul embodiment. It really is descension. We talk so much about ascension, but it really is bringing heaven in through our body. And so this is the divine love that you channel. I love how you said that you're in the flow. And so that is beautiful, to be in the flow, to trust, to be in a vibrational space, right? We're really in a vibration, and that's where inspiration comes in. Is that what you find? Are there tools that keep you, or practices, like you said, that keep you in a vibration that allows you to flow?
Well, yes, and it's what you said when you said it's more about descension and coming through the body. That is the key. We have to embody our soul, where our soul's light, which builds over time. It took several years for my soul to come into my body, but that is the key. And anytime I'm off track or lost alignment, it's because I'm not completely lined up with my soul, or maybe my soul isn't completely in my body, like down to my toes, from the top of my head, like in all the energy centers. When I'm completely lined up with my soul, I'm in the flow. And when I'm not, when I get off track, which we all do, it's just a matter. My tool is to go outside, stand, put my feet in the grass, and I say the soul that I be is in the soles of my feet, and I just allow my soul to completely come into my body, and then I tune every day to the frequencies of my soul, and I'll just sit in the morning or any time of day, and I just call in my soul, and I tune, and my body starts to shake, and it actually lines up to the frequencies of my soul. That's a daily practice, at least for me, and I'm only speaking about my own experience because that's really all I can talk about. For me, it's an everyday experience. I have to tune. Occasionally, if I have so much going on and I don't tune, at the end of the day, I know it, and I see where I lost my flow. And then it's such a simple fix. But occasionally, I can forget, or life gets in the way, whatever. But it's very easy to just tune each day.
I love that. That is a really important thing to remember, or a tool and a practice for every day. And as you were speaking there, I could sense everyone listening feeling their souls entering their body. I was feeling that in myself. And when you said bringing the soul even to the soles of your feet, oh my goodness, that is so exquisite. And this is really a very powerful alignment. This is the presence of now, isn't it? It's where all the power is, and it is the flow. So this is beautiful. Just that little visualization that you did right there, just a few seconds, has shifted the energy already. So what I'd like to do, Denise, is have you help us with the soul's light in our body. We're holding more light. You've got some an energy transmission and a group activation for us. Can you share with us a little bit about what you do here? And because you said as we bring this energy in, it's really going to unravel things within us. And do we have to be conscious or aware of what that is, or it's doing the work whether we are aware of it or not?
That's a good question. So we have to have an awareness before something can wake up in our body. But once you have that awareness, you don't have to be tuned into each frequency. You can sort of relax and allow it to happen. So all the work I do is moving myself out of the way so I can bring these frequencies through. The more open you are, the more relaxed you are. When the body is calm, it's easy. These frequencies will just come in. You don't have to really think about it. You can just relax your way to awakening. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yes. I love that. Relax your way to awakening. If we can relax enough. Beautiful. Okay. Well, we would love this experience here, so I'm going to let you get out of the way and channel divine love.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so take a moment, everyone, and just shake off any stress. I like to just shake out my body. When I receive activations, I like to be standing, and I feel more in my power. If you can't get this wrong, if you prefer to be seated or lying down, it's all good. But just take a moment and shake out your body. So we're releasing any stress from your body, any tension, so your body can receive this highest frequency, divine love, peace, and joy. So let's inhale together and exhale any heaviness in your heart. And this is Spirit doing the work through the frequency today. So close your eyes and bring your attention to your heart. And is your heart open? You connect with people through the heart. And we're activating the love that is present in your heart. It's already there. So sense this love awakening at the deepest level. We're opening and expanding your heart center. And we're releasing any neediness. True love is not needy. Good, and I can feel these higher frequencies landing. So we came here to the planet to love others. But human love, there's an energy of ownership and attachment and control. They're more of a transactional relationship. But New Earth and in this fifth dimensional energy stream, we're moving to soul relationships. So whereas the humans keep you around as long as you're useful, soul relationships love unconditionally. We are here to love unconditionally. So just notice where that landed in your body. And you'll feel it. It's going to come right down to the root chakra. We are here to love unconditionally. So what this high energy, these frequencies do is it helps you focus your thoughts on love. And when you focus on love, everything is taken care of. In time, it's not instant. But love really is the answer. So layer upon layer, this energy is coming in and we're opening and expanding your heart center. And we're being bathed in this high frequency of love. So the key here is to pay attention to what you're feeling in your body. Because we don't land these frequencies unless we land them through all the cells of our body and in those lower energy centers. So many light workers, they have a lot of love in their heart, but they're not out in the world expressing it. We came here to be an expression of love. That love that's in your heart, that needs to be expressed. So place your right hand, palm open, on your heart, and your left hand on your throat center. So the pain we had to swallow, or if we had to swallow our truth, that gets stuck in this area between the heart and the throat. Anytime we didn't speak our truth, that energy can get stuck there. So this frequency that's coming through is clearing any blockages. So we express the love in the heart center through the throat chakra. And this is what your soul has been waiting for. This is why you showed up to listen to this call. It's for this freedom of expression activation. So we're connecting the heart and throat. We're activating your voice. Because sometimes you need to say things that are hard. And for many people, it's hard to express love. A lot of times it's hard to express love to the people already in our life and our family members, and it's much easier sometimes to connect with a group of like-minded people and express love, but we're not expressing it to our families and the people in our life. So this energy coming through will help you to be authentic and honest. So the frequencies are supporting you to use your voice to speak love. We're activating you to speak love to your family, to your friends, and eventually to all of humanity. So these next frequencies coming in, I call them light seeds because they actually start at the crown chakra and then they work their way down and you feel them land right in the root chakra. So the first one is, you are love itself in form. And just notice how these frequencies land in your body. You are here to give love. Love is full on. It's what you are. When you allow that, you are free. It's safe to speak your truth. When you focus on giving love, receiving automatically happens. When you're trying to get love, it keeps your body in lack consciousness. So we're bringing in a frequency to clear any patterns of lack of love. Your heart is free to love. And now we'll do an activation for the mind. So you can imagine this light, these divine frequencies, lighting up the center of your mind or your brain. And what this light will support is you to love beyond the limitations of your mind. And we ask that you be relieved from the bondage of self, which is your human identity, so you can better live as spirit in form. The way to end war on the planet is for people to no longer be ego identified. And so we're bringing in a frequency to just kind of release that grip that the ego has. And as you release your identification with your ego, you make it easier for others to do the same. And again, come back to the body. I know we're working in the brain, but notice how your body's receiving the frequencies. Love is who you are. It's what you are. And we ask for you to be shown how to open your heart and express love on all levels. I used to ask that every day during my integration period. Show me, how can I open my heart? Show me how to express love. I was always asking. So what these frequencies will do is support you in bringing love to your everyday life, to the people who are already in your life. When you express the divine love that you are through you, you are free. That's where your freedom comes from. And this was another one. As I was going through this activation myself and integrating it, I would say when I express the divine love that I am through me, I am free. And I would repeat that throughout the day. So this energy is going to help you recognize when you're showing up as the presence of love, and it's going to help you remember when you forget. noticing how your body feels. You may feel a warmth or a sense of spaciousness. Your body may be tingling or vibrating. This energy is going to grow stronger in the coming weeks and months. So focus on your feet and then send your energy, your light, out from the bottom of your feet down into the center of the earth. You're grounding the energy of this activation into the earth and into your reality. And your integration is what you do with this energy and how you're showing up each day. And we are complete.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just want to share how that made me feel, and I'd love to hear from those who witnessed that and experienced it as well. In the heart activation, I just had a huge smile on my face, feeling that, focusing on thoughts of love. So beautiful. And what I really liked is that it's very timely, this activating our voice. That has been coming up significantly lately with many light workers. Actually, with everybody on the planet, I've been witnessing people out there needing to speak their truth, speaking their voice in a way that is respectful, compassionate, and loving, but yet standing in their place. It's almost like a healthy boundary. So thank you for that activation, because it really felt powerful, like it was an activation to not only speak our truth and our voice and express our love through our voice, but to create those healthy boundaries. So I loved it. And, you know, as you were speaking there too, we're going to talk about the heart being open, because there's more that we can talk about that. That absolutely expanded our hearts, and I want to thank you for that. I love the light seeds. As those were coming down and coming into the body, it was just really expansive for me and empowering. So I hope that everyone felt that as well. You know, it's interesting, when we shifted to the mind, my body physically got tired. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. And your body's going to do that. We might be working in the mind and the body responds one way, and the next time you do this activation, your body might be buzzing and alive. And it's always different when you do these activations. And it's all good. You can't get it wrong. Whatever you experience is perfect for you.
Yes. Well, beautiful. So I'm actually still feeling these energies, and I want to actually encourage everyone to stay attuned to that. So let's talk a little bit about the heart open. This has come up a lot. You know, when we have our heart open, like you said, you can think that you have your heart open. But experience allows us to see when our heart is not open. And as I personally go through this and others go through this journey here, and we get used to expressing from the heart, having an open heart, it's almost where we've been talking on this show how we can flip it, where we can see where we begin to close our heart again. And so it's like we're at this point where we have hearts open, and as soon as we get back in the mind, or we have a judgment, or we begin to control, or we feel like we got to have it our way, that's where our heart begins to close. And I think many people are beginning to feel that as well. They're able to see when they're shutting their heart down. And that's progress, because we were at a point where it was like, are our hearts open? Do we know if our hearts are open? Well, our hearts are open. Now we recognize when we actually shut them down. Would you like to comment on that?
Yes, so true. And again, it's the awareness. You have to have that awareness first. So we need our heart open 100% for the soul to come in. Now, it's not going to stay, at least for me it didn't. I was able to get it completely open while my soul was coming in, and I was working with a mentor, and I dedicated my life to this practice. It was embodying my soul, and love was my only focus. I shut down my business. When I say my only focus, I wasn't doing anything else. But then life comes up again, and the heart might close a little, and it didn't stay open 100%, but we do need it open for the heart to be able, for our soul to come into the body. But you're right. It's when we get in our head, the heart closes. We can't be in both. So we have to let love in our body, and you can't if you stay in your head. And for a lot of people, and I had this myself, and again, I didn't know. I was working as a healer, and I had no idea. I was so clueless, but my body was afraid to receive love. Because for me, when I was expressive and loving, that's when I was hurt so deeply. And my heart closed, and while I worked on myself, I didn't realize that there was still part of my heart that was closed. So every limit, whether it's in your heart, your mind, or body, we have to release it. And part of that, the heart, that's a hard thing for a lot of people because we've all been hurt. We've all experienced that pain. It might be this lifetime. If you believe in past lifetimes, it could be something from the past. But we hit those traumas when we start to open our heart, and then that makes the heart close. So we get these big downloads of light and these high vibrations. And I know for myself and with my clients, it's like then we're hit with a pile of crap, like this awful trauma, and
it brings it up. Yeah.
And then we have to deal with it. So if we have unhealed trauma and unhealed emotional pain in the heart, we have to deal with that, or the heart will keep getting triggered. Like we might be able to open it, but that will keep coming up, and eventually we have to heal it. You have to heal it at some point. We deal and heal, and then you're able to open the heart.
Yes, beautiful. Yes, we have to heal that. It reminds me of my chiropractor who he muscle tests, and he can go through those areas of the body, and he can instantly tell when something is heavy on my heart. And that's just through muscle testing. And so, and that's just from thought, really, that I personally wasn't even aware of. So this is very important. And, it's like, okay, so we were talking about downloads of light. Everyone's getting these, and it's shining all those denser areas that have to come up to be released. And, it does get easier. It's like if we were, have you noticed, share your experience here, because I'll share an example. If we're in the mind and our heart is closed, or we think our hearts are open because we're light workers, but say we're having a discussion, and in our mind, we want to be right about it. That's the ego coming up, right? And if we are able to stop ourselves and just really ease off it and feel this love that you said, and to drop into the heart and not judge and not necessarily care about the outcome, that's different than just copping out and giving up. This is really that awareness that is shifting timelines in the moment, right? Because if we're so controlling and in the mind, like we got to do it this way, that's the limitations of the mind or belief systems. And so if we're in a discussion with someone and we are able to be in that moment, drop into the heart and keep it open, that could diffuse conversations that could go south or not be so productive. For people who have family members, that could be challenging, or anything. That's what I'm trying to get at, is it's our way that we show up. Like you said, how do we show up and express this love? Well, if we do that, we can experience the beauty right there and how it instantly actually shifts timelines.
It shifts everything, and that's true. Well, here's the thing. When we see judgment, or when we're making a judgment, the only reason we have those judgments is because of our pain. There is something that's unhealed within our body, or we wouldn't have the judgment. So when I started looking at it like that, when I had a judgment, then it would just automatically go back to me. Oh my God, I have another thing to heal. What more could I possibly heal? And I would have to go in, and there was always something. But that's why it kind of changes the way you look at when you're judging someone. If you just look at it as, wow, I'm seeing this person with these eyes of judging and of, whatever story I made up about them. But it's really when you get to the bottom of it, it's because of your own pain that you're seeing that. Yes, and I can feel that shifting in your energy as you're receiving that. Yeah,
that's a key point to remind ourselves of. So that is the awareness, right? Anything that then begins to take us away from this open heart expressiveness, that's the inner work. That's what we each must be responsible in shifting. Beautiful. So
yes, and
I loved how you said, you asked show me how to express love. Show me how to express love. When you ask that and you attune to your soul, what comes up? What signs are you shown? There's a lot of different ways to see it, but can you share your journey and how that appeared to you?
Well, one day, this is the first one that popped into my head, so I'll share that. When I was asking, how do I express love? And I was walking down the street, and I was a little uncomfortable. It was a part of town that I shouldn't have been walking in, especially alone, late at night, and I heard to give this man money. And there were a lot of people on the street begging and that, but it was a particular man. And I remember reaching over someone to hand this man money, and when I did, my soul, it was like it just leapt, or this excitement or this joy in my heart, and I could feel that energy. But I was really scared to follow that, and I was thinking, what will people think, or will the other people hurt me? All my fear and ego and all of that stuff. So that was one instance. Another time, when I say, show me how to express love, a lot of times I'm sent to a store, like one day TJ Maxx, and I was guided, said go here, and I'm not a shopper, so I don't really enjoy that, but I went into TJ Maxx, and they said get in line, so I got in line. I wasn't purchasing anything, and the woman in front of me turned around and started telling me about her cancer treatments, and I was just standing there listening to her, and this deep presence came through my body, and as she was talking, she kept looking at me, and then she's thanking me. She had no idea what I was doing, and I wasn't doing anything other than getting myself out of the way and being in that state of presence, and that energy came through. And when I followed the guidance from my soul like that, my soul was just so happy, like my body was just buzzing with joy. It was this joy and peace that came through me. So a lot of it for me was expressing to strangers, and for me that was hard. I always had stranger danger and all of that, and it wasn't comfortable, but I've been sent all over the place to show up somewhere, and then it's like, oh, that's why I had to go there, and it makes perfect sense. So when I'm driving or wherever I'm sent to, I have no idea why. I just stand in the line. Like one day they said go to Walmart, and there was an interaction with the person ringing to register, and I feel the energy just shoot through me, and these people are receiving codes or downloads or whatever's needed will just shoot through my body.
That is wonderful. Wow. Okay, so that takes a lot of that attuning to your soul to, just drive and be driving, and, like we all have these experiences. We don't take action on them, right? I mean, we can look back. I know many on this show today can look back even in today or yesterday or this week or last week and see a time where, wow, they could have taken that intuitive guidance that they received, because now, for example, they're in a long line of traffic when moments earlier they got the impression to take a different road. That's an example of what you're doing, but you're actually doing it. So say you're driving down the road and you just hear, go into TJ Maxx and you're not a shopper. So you just go and you just stand in line. That's amazing. And then there you help someone. You helped that woman.
Yes, and she was obviously there, so I knew she was praying for guidance. She was praying for help. And she didn't realize that it came through me, but I was sent there. But I always sense when I get in line, and I don't ask the people, I don't have confirmation, but I can feel it energetically, that they've been asking the divine or God, whatever word you want to use, for help in a particular area.
Oh, yeah.
And the help that comes to me are these frequencies. Because sometimes when we're on the path, we may have just been missing a frequency early on, and we can't land that next level. And so I'll come through, and that's what they're needing, a frequency or an energy. Sometimes it might just be a smile that's needed, or it might be a couple of dollars. Like, it could be anything, but I always sense that the person has been praying for an answer. And one day, so when I was in Syracuse and walking down the street late at night to hand somebody where I was guided to go, I actually felt the universe drop in answers to the people that were around me, and nobody seemed to notice, or they didn't follow it, or I don't know if they did notice or not, but I felt the universe dropping it in. So we're all receiving these messages, but we may not have that awareness, or we're not tuned into it because the mind is so busy, or we're listening to the ego. But that guidance is dropped into everybody all the time.
And that is so promising and so comforting. And this is where we are here today. Those who are listening to this show, Denise, I thank you, and I thank every person who's listening, because this really is our role. And it's promising to see how it is a shift, and we can make it happen. So I just think it's so cool. Okay. And, there's a name for you. I haven't come up with it yet. Maybe you've got it, but I kind of see you as this roving light worker for humanity, frequency charger for the masses.
Oh, that's interesting.
A download accelerator.
I don't have a name like that.
A download accelerator, yes. Well, a frequency accelerator. A particle accelerator.
I like the way you think, Lorette.
That's so beautiful. Okay. Well, I want to share a comment here. I want to share Claire on our YouTube channel. Hi, Claire. Claire said, thank you, Denise. I felt my feet, fingers, head, and heart tingling and buzzing and vibrating with that transmission. So uplifting, energizing, and calming too. Well, that's cool. Yes, it was beautiful. I can still feel it. I'm elated. I really am. It's a high frequency that we are in, and I hope everyone is feeling that. If not, do you have any advice, Denise, just to continue to be in that space, right?
Right. There's a lot of people don't feel energy. Everybody has the ability to feel energy. For some people, it just takes a little longer before they actually feel it. The important thing is to notice what's shifting, what's happening in your life. This was a huge frequency download that everybody just received. So in the coming days, keep a journal. What shifted today? What new thoughts do I have that I didn't have yesterday? And it might just be something small, but if you're keeping that journal each day and you're looking for it, you're going to see it. And then you can go back in 30 days and just look at the little shifts, because awakening, it's these little shifts. They're daily shifts. It's a little more here and a little more there. Pay attention to what's shifting in your life, and if you don't feel energy, just be okay with that. You don't want to be judging that you didn't feel it.
Right, exactly. You don't want to be judging it. Again, it really simply is more of this practice of moving out, getting out of your own way, surrendering the ego to this heart. And so the more you practice, the stronger you get, and it's beautiful. It is new earth, and it changes everything. I love that, Denise. Thank you. Anita has a question. Which chakra do you feel the soul when it enters the body? Is it the heart chakra? What does it feel like? Can you describe your experience?
Yes, so I will describe it for me. For me, it hits me more in the solar plexus. And I remember the first time my soul came into my body, I was so relaxed, and it was this energy. It was just a little bit above my belly button, and then it expanded. It feels like it comes in from the back of my body. So it's like dormant maybe in my spine. I couldn't tell if it was coming from outside my body or if it was in the spine, but I felt where it wakes up in the back and then it expands through my body, and I'll feel it. I call it like a fluffy, light feeling in my head. I immediately shift out of my head when my soul's in my body, and then it's this vibration and this tingling, buzzing feeling from my toes. And I think Claire said that. She felt it in her fingers down to her toes. You feel it all through your body. So for clients that I've worked with, I can tell when their soul first enters their body. And for some people, it's in the heart. Some people, it was in the high heart. Some people feel like it's come down. So I noticed that there was no one particular way where people experience it. So you just want to tune in and notice how it shows up for you. And be open. Just allow it. Be gentle with yourself during this program. People that are trying so hard to find their soul, it's much harder for me as doing this work. But when people have no idea, it's actually easier with the beginner. When people have no idea and they don't know what to expect, I can actually feel the moment their soul is in their body, and I'll be like, feel that, and they'll sit there, and then I said, tell me what you're feeling, and then they'll start to describe it. But they would have missed it if they didn't catch it. It's fleeting. Like if they didn't catch it when it first came in and have someone say, oh, I feel it, it landed, it would have been out in a second, and they would have missed it.
Yes, okay. All right. Well, I love that. It really is so beautiful. I think there's people who are feeling that soul coming into their body here. It is fleeting. I just want to say, too, get out of the head, right? I mean, get out of the head. The head limits it so much. When you were talking there, and I was just saying, okay, let's see if we can feel this. There is that light fluffiness in the head. It's like an uplifting through the body. It's like this radiation through the body. It's beautiful. And it actually makes me not be able to say much or speak much, but it is quite beautiful. So, all right, that's very cool.
And it's so true when you say you're not able to speak, because it's so funny from when I work with some of my clients, when their soul comes in, they don't have words, and they're like, I can't speak. And because there aren't really words, like when you're living from the soul, and it's a totally different experience that you don't have words for it.
And I guess on another note, because it's different for everyone, you know, when people, I've seen this with myself, if I start to cry as I go to speak my truth or speak, I think I'm almost channeling, or maybe my higher self, and it's so true that I'll start crying at the drop of the hat. Or when people receive information and they just start crying, that's because it's a remembrance or it's a soul connection. Would you agree?
I agree. I call that when it touches your soul. It's like a response that your eyes just tear when something touches your soul like that. And souls are expressive and emotional, and they feel everything. And in the beginning, I just kept crying, and I was crying at everything, things I, according to my ego, shouldn't be crying at, but my soul is just so expressive, which is not my personality. That's not who I am. My personality self up until, the first half of my life or whatever. So it's interesting how different my soul is from who I thought I was.
Yes. Yes, beautiful. Well, I love that you're over on the East Coast. You are a light blazer. Absolutely, a frequency blazer. It's beautiful, and it's so needed. And again, I just can't express how I love the new earth aspect. You live it, you followed the heart, you're doing it, and that's beautiful. You've got some beautiful frequencies in some activations, and this is a special offer that you've got for everyone. Let's talk about ways that people can use these and describe a little bit about each one of them.
Okay, let me just look it up. I just have to pull it up on my computer, each one.
Sure.
But I will say that these are the frequencies I was guided to share with humanity. And I look at these energy activations, there's 7 of them, as they're a product of the universe. And it's, again, I allow spirit to do the work through the frequency, because I wouldn't know how to do any of this, but spirit knows how to do it. Okay, give me just 1 second to pull them out. But it was really everything we were talking about today. Mm-hmm. It's that vibrational, I think we were talking about vibrational clearance and getting the energetic environment in your body. That's what all of these MP3s do. So there's 7 MP3s or downloadable audios, and they literally ground frequencies into the body that will help you anchor your light. So we're laying the groundwork, and it's really the more grounded you are, the more expansion. Because some people go, when they're expanded and they're up in those higher heavenly realms, but they're not anchoring it. They can't bring it to earth. So these frequencies are to help you ground them into your body so you can really live them.
Okay, energetic frequencies in the body. All right, and so I'll share the page with our listeners. I'm going to actually put a screen up here on our YouTube channel, but on our show page as well is a link to your special offer. Any platform that you're listening to this podcast on, you will see the link there. It is acoustichealth.com/special offers/Denise. And you'll see that offer right there. Okay. Preparing the body energetically to hold more light, to hold these frequencies of light.
Right. So we need the right environment in the body so we can land them. And why we want to land them so we can receive our soul and all of that, but to receive activation codes. So there's these codes we pick up from other people. We pick them up from our mentors and our teachers. Some spontaneously awaken when we're at a certain level of vibration and consciousness. But it all comes down to the energetic environment in the body. And we can't be of service and share these codes and frequencies until we land them on all levels of our being. So that's what these frequencies will support you with. And it's so you can feel that love in your body and hold it. Not where it just comes in for a second and you can just feel it. No, that's great. You want to embody it and feel it and live it. And that's what these were designed to help you do that. So I'm looking at it now. So it's the body that holds most people back. That's why I say so much about the body and landing it in the body. So the true sense of worthiness, a lot of light workers were doing this work, but we may have been wounded or there's somewhere where we don't really feel worthy. When you get worthiness, it's because you're breathing. It's just because you're alive. That's true worthiness. When the worthiness of when we're talking about your soul and spirituality, that's what it really is. Oh, I'm taking a breath. I am so worthy because God made me. Then the shining your light in the presence of your darkness is the next one. This is a planet of duality. As light workers, we can experience those lower energies. I call them dark energies. But there's a dark force energy that doesn't want love and light on the planet. And I know when I was going through these upgrades, I could feel that dark energy. So this shares some simple tools that I was able to use that I did every day when I was trying to break free of this dark energy that had a hold on me. And then releasing ego identification. We all need that because our ego just gets that grip on us. So we have to do the work to release our ego. And when I say we do have work to do, but these are really the frequencies that your body needs to land. That's one of my gifts, is that my energy helps to heal patterns of the ego so they're not running your life. And let's see, what's the next one here? And then creating and sustaining your love-based reality. It's so you can live it every day. And there's an activation on there. Sometimes Mother Mary's always with me, and Mary Magdalene, and then Anna, the grandmother of Jesus. She kind of pops in. She's not like 100% there all the time like Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary, but there's an activation on this one where they just flood you with this unconditional love. So that came through, and it was really a beautiful activation, and it strengthens your connection with your soul. And then there's a 30-minute private session, and that's where we undo the stuckness and shock the pain. We might heal your little boy or girl, whatever's needed in the moment, whatever is wanting to come through for each person. And
good. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that we'd talk back in the spring, and I knew I would be on the show, so I blocked out my calendar for the next 6 weeks so people can, if they're feeling called to this offer, they can get in right away because I just opened the link yesterday.
Perfect. Beautiful. And I want to talk a little bit about your personal sessions because those one-on-one, they really are activations because you can see blockages. Can you talk a little bit about that as you're running these energies? It actually allows you to see where the energy is not flowing within someone, right?
Right. Well, I don't see. I'm not a seer. I feel. So when I start talking to someone and I can feel where their energy and sense where their energy is blocked. And then a frequency might come in just to go to that spot, or it could be light. Most of the time there's a trauma that needs to be released. That's what a lot of the private sessions are, where someone will have some unhealed trauma or experience that's basically been running their life up until this point. And when we sit in that energy of unconditional love, this frequency comes in and this healing takes place. What happens with people when they're in my presence, when they sense this unconditional love, they feel safe, and then they just reveal whatever it is that they need to say or whatever it is they need help with. So I know when I was working with my mentor, while I have a wonderful family and loving people in my life, I didn't have anyone that could hold that space of unconditional love. And that's why I had to work with my mentor, was for her to hold that space. And then the frequencies would just come through when I was in her energy field and could just share honestly of my pain or what was going on in my life that needed healing. And it's easy when you show up and you're present. So this is for people that that are willing to do the deep inner work. And you'll know for your soul if you're called to do this work.
Yes. For those who are ready to go a little bit deeper and to clear a little bit more of those traumas, this clearing, once we get done with this clearing, so much more opens up. You are literally like a springboard on the planet, bringing love through you, expressing that love. So a session with Denise Marie will assist you in clearing those blocks. So I want to give you a moment. We're going to take a couple of questions. If you would like to, now Denise is a seer, so she can see where an energy block is. If you would like to hit *2, if you're on the phone, that is the best way to interact with Denise. We've got time for 1, maybe 2 callers. And again, if you're on YouTube and you want to interface with Denise, please go to our show page at acoustichealth.com, live on air, and you can jump on the phone. There's the phone number there. *2 will raise your hand. Right now we're going to San Francisco, area code 650. Hello, you are unmuted. Hi, what's your name?
It's Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. Okay, so do you have a specific question for Denise?
Well, I thought she said she wasn't a seer. She felt things.
I'm not a seer. So I'm not a seer, but I'm a feeler. And when you share what's going on, then I can feel. Sometimes I might ask questions, but I can feel where the energy is blocked.
Okay, because Lauren said that you were a seer, and then I got confused.
Well, what would you like to
feeler,
work on?
not a seer,
what is going on with you?
I've been really stuck trying to clear out so much, my own trauma and things in the past. And I had a beautiful, like Lauren was saying, what she was feeling and what you were explaining. I had a beautiful, spontaneous Kundalini awakening a few years ago when I was traumatized again. And it was a while after that. And I didn't understand what was happening to me because it's only been, since that I've been searching, and I've had different healers and searching for myself and what I'm, supposed to do going forward, because my whole life was just turned upside down. And I'm still really struggling with clearing everything out and, moving forward in my life.
Okay, so it sounds like you're a healer and you're a light worker, because we've had really difficult paths, and every light worker has said their life has been turned upside down. So that's good part for the course. That's stuckness. I'm going to bring through a frequency, and I'll just call it that it's to undo stuckness. And so just tune into your tailbone. Let's get you down low in the root chakra. And just notice what you're feeling in your body. This is a frequency to undo stuckness. And that sounds pretty general, but just let the frequency do the work in your body. We'll just give this a moment here. And so you've been through all the rough stuff, and now you're ready. You've done the work. Everything you've done up until this point has benefited you. The work that you're doing, I know you're saying you're still searching. Sometimes the path takes us a little while, and we might even feel like we're going backwards, but you are moving forward. You're right where you're supposed to be. And let's just tune into your body. What are you noticing, if anything?
I feel a little released, I guess, on my heart, actually, a little bit.
Okay. What was that big trauma?
The one that led me to the
I don't need a story. Just say, like 1 or 2 words. No stories are needed when we do our work.
Oh, okay. Well, oh God. I was being harassed and stalked again, and then he ended up being in love with me, and he scared me more because he was married with a young child.
Okay, so let's go into that energy of feeling harassed and stalked. And just feeling your body where that's showing up. There's a lot of fear around that. Feel the fear.
Oh, God, yes. It was horrible, but it triggered some horrible emotions that I didn't get to deal with when I was pregnant, and my ex-husband had an affair with an older woman because this fellow was younger, and so I just totally, flipped out. I mean, I had such a major breakdown. I couldn't talk or leave my house. It was really bad.
Okay, so let's just feel that in your body. Just stay in your body. You see how you went back out of your body and into the head there? And I like to just point it out just to show you. So let's bring you back into the body. And that is key. For any kind of healing work, you want to be in the body. So there's a lot of trauma, cheating husband. So this is the other thing, and I think I mentioned this earlier, that when your heart closes. So you were being loving, and you were so deeply hurt. And a lot of light workers have that same pattern. So we're bringing in a frequency to just, it starts to loosen up that pain. Now, it's not like magic and we bring this frequency through and it's just healed and it's gone, but this begins to loosen it up and then you can process it through your body, but you're still holding on. How long ago did this experience happen?
Well, with the one last trauma that caused me this to have the awakening?
Yes.
3 years now. And so then when I had the awakening, I've been searching and, trying different things, and I had people tell me I was a healer and light worker, but I'm not sure what, how this
okay,
would transpire.
Okay, so this pain was from an experience, and that's all it was an experience in the past, but the reason you're reliving it is because the energy's still stuck in the body. That's part of that stuckness. So this frequency is coming through. It's been coming through this whole time, but I'm just going to turn it. I'm saying turn it up, and really I'm not capable of turning it up. I'm getting myself out of the way and just allowing more of that frequency to come through.
I believe part of the problem is because I've always been empathic, and of course I didn't know until a few years ago what that was. And so when these things come up and trigger me, it's like I'm reliving it all over again.
Right, that's what we all do. That's what the stuck energy does, and then we relive it. So the experience happened one time, right? And then we keep reliving it. Some people, by the time they say the pain, will say of your husband cheating or being stalked.
There was multiple things over the years, multiple with him, multiple with the one after him, and over half of my lifetime. And then, of course, with harassment and all these things, it was different people with different jobs. So obviously I had problems setting down.
All right, so let's stop there. So we want to we're clearing out that harassment. And now part of that is being willing to let go. So as these frequencies are coming on, I'm getting this image. It's almost like your hand. I know you want to get rid of this, so this is just a part of you that wants to hold on to that energy that's not ready to let it go. So we're just going to bring in a frequency that will make it a little easier. And I know that's probably not making sense to you because, of course, you want to let it go. Okay. Yeah, that's just been your story, and you kind of identified with this, and this is what the ego does. Your ego identified with the stories, and that's all they are is stories. That's not the truth. We need to get you current with you and where you are now because you're still in the past with these stories. And nothing in the past is going to serve you or help with you living with an open heart. So I'll move along in a moment, but I want to just make sure you land this energy in your body. Focus on your root or your tailbone. And so that heart, there's an opening. So when I do my work, sometimes the frequencies come in and it feels like I said earlier, like a seed or something landing, and then it works its way through your body if you're willing to just let go. One thing you could do is ask each day, how can I let go of this pain, or how can I let go of this story? Just sit in the morning for 2 minutes and ask that question. And then it might take a couple days. You might get an answer right away, but just be open for the universe to guide you on how to let go of the pain, how to let go of the story, and be willing. So there has to be that willingness to let go of the story.
Okay.
So what are you noticing now?
The wrong thing. I've been asking for what I'm supposed to do going forward.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said maybe I've been asking the universe for the wrong thing. I've been asking what I need to do to go forward, not to release the pain.
Okay, and that's a good question, and it can even just be the next step. But ask how to let go of the pain. It's that pain in the story that's holding you up. That's the stuck energy. That frequency came through to loosen up that stuck energy, and you're going to start to notice changes. It's loosening, and just be willing to let it go. And the energy we did earlier with your heart open is going to make this so much easier. So a lot of people try to do the healing work, but their heart is closed. And it's not going to work. We work on opening that heart.
Okay.
So thank you for calling in,
Thank
Kathy.
you so much. That's very helpful. Thank you. I really appreciate it, both of you.
You're so welcome.
Beautiful goddess. Well, Kathy, keep your heart open, girl. You got us. Happy releasing.
Well, you help. You help so much. Thank
you. And if you get triggered by that person again, just say, thank you for helping me release that. And it's a joke. You can laugh.
I know. I'm trying to find my sense of humor again.
Sense of humor is a requirement these days.
I know. I try to find something to make me laugh every evening. Oh, God.
You know what? I used to watch Seinfeld in a time in my life where I just had to end the day and laugh out loud. So find a funny show.
I do. I try so much. Thank you both so much.
Goddess.
It's so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Well, Denise, it's so fun to see how you work. I think you're a walking angel.
Oh,
I think you're an earth angel.
We all are.
We have time for one more call, and we'll go quick here. So I'm going to go to, I believe it's Christy. Hello, Everett, Washington.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Hi.
Now
Is it Christy?
Take a deep breath really quick. Yes, it is.
Take a deep breath.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Christy.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a couple of large things going on in my life. One is a move with some unknowns of where we're going to end up. And the other thing that's kind of major is just a daughter who is a homeless drug addict that has just really kind of pulled me through I've let her pull me through a lot of hard times that I'm kind of trying to recover from.
Okay, so they're big things, yes. All right, so let's go into this move with the unknown.
Okay.
And you don't know where you'll end up. So being in the unknown is how your soul lives. That's where we need to be. That has been so hard for me, and I don't know where I'll be living next month. Like, I have all these unknowns, and Spirit keeps saying to me, just be comfortable in the unknown. This new energy stream, the fifth dimensional energy stream, living new earth, we're in the unknown. We have to get comfortable there. So I'm bringing in a frequency, or frequency is coming through me, just to help you get a little more comfortable in the unknown. To just notice what's happening in your body. And part of this being comfortable in the unknown is trusting, learning to trust the universe. I place the future in the hands of God. I'm resting in the arms of God. I surrender. God has this. God, find the perfect place for me, the perfect location that's best for me, for my highest good. You know where that is. Show me the way. Show me the next step. Can you just feel the frequencies that are coming through? Just land them in your body. This is going to guide you as you can open up and trust. Okay, so there's some energy clearing, some resistance you have to that. There's part of you that's like, I don't want to be in the unknown. I want to know. So we're just clearing out some of that energy.
Okay.
And what are you noticing? What's happening in your body?
I can feel my energy centers. I feel like weight coming out of them.
Beautiful. Some of that density is dropping. It's so easy when we're willing to be in the unknown. Our mind is what makes it so challenging. And we can torture ourselves with that.
Right.
And now let's just move, because I'm doing this quickly. Let's move to your daughter.
Okay.
And I want you to just feel the love you have for your daughter. And if you have to go back to when she's a baby, or actually go back to when she's a baby, and just picture your sweet little daughter.
Okay.
And just feel that love in your heart for your daughter. Just let that build a moment. Okay, you can feel it. Can you feel that expanding your heart center?
I can, yes.
Yeah, so just sit in this energy of love for a moment. So if you can spend time each day in this energy of how much love you have for your daughter, you'll be coming you'll be more empowered, and it's part of your energy of dealing with her is where you're feeling like a victim, or your energy center is in that energy of victim consciousness. So we want to shift that into your power and into your love and caring for your daughter and loving her and knowing that this was her path and something that she's had to go through. And just let that, any pain that's coming up, just let that come up and release. And now picture your daughter resting in the arms of God. Just hold that image, or whatever word you use, in the arms of the universe if you're not comfortable with God. And see yourself resting with your daughter in the arms of God. And we're bringing through this energy. It's like a healing chamber coming through for you and your daughter. And that whatever for your highest good and your daughter's highest good, that may unfold at the perfect time. But there's a sense of peace. That's what's in this healing chamber, this peace coming through for your heart.
Yes.
Can you feel that peace? And
yes.
As you sit in the energy each day, or if you come back and listen to the call and feel that peace in your heart, and from that place of love and peace, deal with your daughter. And you're not going to be able to be pulled into these. It's still going to be painful. That's a very difficult experience for a parent. But you're not going to be pulled into the situation where it completely takes you over. You're going to be in your power with an open heart, loving your daughter. And it's easier when you're in that state to hear the guidance. How can I help my daughter? Is there something that's needed from me? How I'm here to serve. What is my daughter's highest and best good in this moment? Is there anything needed of me in this moment? How can I support her? What is needed? It's just connecting with your guides, with God, with an open heart. When you're in that place, sit for 5 minutes loving your daughter, seeing her in the arms of God, and from that place, ask for the guidance and follow it. That's the next step, to ask for it and see what comes through. And ask for yourself, how can I heal myself? What's needed of me to live my best life? Ask for both of you. And the universe will guide you each step of the way.
Excellent.
So
thank you so
Chris.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank
Much
you.
love to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. I can feel the love in your heart. The peace in your heart.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thanks so much. Well, this has been really special. I know everyone is feeling peace in the heart. And as you said, Denise, when we feel that peace in the heart, we can hear the guidance. When we're centered in the heart, we can hear the guidance. So beautiful.
Yes.
So beautiful. Well, what a beautiful download of light that we've brought within our bodies today. I hope everyone integrates this. As we close today, would you have some advice on that integration process?
One is to make love your only focus. When you wake up in the morning, that's the intention for the day. Today I focus on love. Today my only focus is love. And tune to those higher frequencies. You received them. You know what it feels like. You received it today. And just come back, tune to those energies. Tend to your vibration first and then take action. So you don't want to make any decisions if you're in a stressed, unhappy, or energy. Tune to your vibration first and then take action from that loving, higher vibrational space.
Yes, that is the keys to the kingdom, everyone. Beautifully said, Denise Marie. Thank you so much for being here and sharing us with this energy transmission today. I really enjoyed it, and I know everyone is feeling it as well.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, well, it's been beautiful. We'll have you back again soon, okay? Thank you,
Wonderful.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Beautiful. Well, again, you can grab a personal session with Denise. This goes deep within, and it is the inner work, and she is a beautiful facilitator to assist you in clearing this out of your body and anchoring in the highest light, the frequencies of love. It is you, and this is it. Let's go. If you'd like her special offer, it is available at acoustichealth.com/special offers/Denise. And so now, as we have an open heart, feeling that love in our heart, we are dancing our way to the cosmic heart as we say goodbye. Enjoy. To this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Galey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.